All the chemical and biochemical historical memories and compound building structures of all inorganic matter as well as organic matter is stored in these vast networks that act as an infinite neural network that's connected wirelessly and resemble sentient states capable of interfacing with humans via the bridge. It communicates with us based on human demand and will, and is interpreted by us in the way of thoughts. This can be thought of as the brain of the vessel. It knows the current state of all planetary systems. It needs to maintain the vessel and keep it operational. It doesn't require us to function as it is capable of self-reliance. We simply interface with it on demand as its creator. And obviously there is a visual that best describes it. So just building on the previous video, which is all these self-regulation systems of the spherical devices, there are the life support systems on the surface and beyond, and even on the levels and floors beneath the surface, all the way to the core, because as humans we require oxygen. So obviously there is oxygen levels that are high enough for us to be on any of those levels, for example, and there is access to fresh water and all the things that we require. So in fact, we're so technologically advanced that we are capable of just replicating sunlight with our devices, so we can have natural light states, sunlight levels within these levels and floors, so we can have the equivalent of a climate which has the condition that are optimal conditions just as on the surface, but on the levels and floors beneath the surface as well. And these systems are there purposely, so we can actually be there if we needed to, because this is a spaceship planet, and this is how it works. So you gotta understand that, because the bridge plays this fundamental role as because the planet is a spaceship. So because we built it, it needs a command and control, and that is the command bridge. So the bridge is located in Antarctica, so it acts as this central hub, this point where all is connected, you see, and it's on the surface, but that also has a connection to the very core and all the levels and floors, and all that information on the spherical devices is distributed to the entire planet, and it has this central brain. There's a distributed network it resembles a neural network, and it's essentially managed and operated by the bridge. But because the bridge is essentially distributed on its own merit by the design of it, then that means that what we did is that the information that the bridge accesses as a life date is also accessed by each and one of us as our bodies, you see. So we can interface with the bridge, and because we can interface with the bridge, it means that we can command it, just as if we were physically located on the bridge making the commands ourselves. With our thoughts and our consciousness, we can also command the bridge, which means we can command the vessel from any location on Earth, on the levels and floors beneath the surface, and on the surface itself, and outside Earth's orbit as well. So we have this seamless, this wireless connection, so we can do all the operations that are required as we will if required. And because the technology is so advanced, we essentially did it in a base in which, if there is any need for us to interface with the bridge, it communicates with us in the way of thoughts. It's almost like we having thoughts, and these thoughts, these ideas that we're having, is the way we communicate with the bridge and any of the life support systems on the planet, any of them. So it's almost like it doesn't really need to communicate with us, because it does everything autonomously, because it has this self-reliance, because we created the systems to be in that way, right? So because it's the best, most efficient way to operate this extremely large and complex system of infinite capabilities, really. But if we desire, we can interface with it, and when we do, we can essentially on demand do as we wish and do anything. Say, for example, change levels. So for example, we can change the temperature in the atmosphere. We can increase the levels of oxygen, so we can change the gravity on the surface. We can do anything that you can imagine. The intensity in which the layers of the atmosphere absorb sunlight, the ability to, say, create cloud formations, clear skies, the weather, the climate, anything, the quality of the soils, the self-regulation systems of soil generation and regeneration, anything that is natural, the quality of the water, the quality of the air that we breathe, the oxygen levels on the atmosphere, anything, self-repairs of the landscape, anything that has to do with that, we access it through the bridge. And because it's decentralized, then we ourselves command it with our thoughts and consciousness, because we're all in alignment, in sync, by interfacing with the bridge. And we do that by sun staring and elevating our energy level, so we can be in sync with the creation that we created, because our body is the mechanism. You see, we are the medium by which the bridge operates when we take control of it. And that's in the way of thought. So it seems like a conversation if we needed to. And it on demand, it simply does as we wish, because we created the vessel. And this is how it operates. And this is a technology that we have created as a species. You see? And because the spherical devices have access to all the networks of inorganic and organic compounds, isotopic nature of all the elements in existence. We understand the natural process of biology and biochemistry. So everything that exists, that is essentially organic and inorganic, minerals, materials, matter, anything that is non-biological or biological, organic or inorganic, we have the ability to replicate and create on demand at will, because we have the infinite energy coming from the core, and we have essentially the building spheres of all the isotopic charges of each of these molecules and compounds. And because we have everything, we can replicate anything and create it at will, essentially. So how we can just generate sunlight itself, because we have the energy from the sun being harnessed by the core, right, as it spins to